Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
I was doing a little bit of reading and I was as I was waiting for our call and I was like, ooh, it's 2 minutes after. And as I clicked on, I just had this like such Raj excited. I'm so excited to talk to Raj. It's been a while.
It has
So
been.
I've missed you.
I've missed you. I am doing really well right now, actually. Um, I had a second plant medicine experience last week.
Which
Uh,
plant medicine are you using?
so I'm using, I think I told you, I am part of this like
It's the
group,
same it's the same one that you did? Okay.
Heart Opener.
Yeah.
And I had some really big breakthroughs around like my fears around commitment, like which we talked about, which was marriage and commitment. And I should realize that those fears were powered by stories of me being an athlete growing up and like failing at tennis and like not getting scholarships, and that since I was a child and my identity was wrapped around being an athlete, like I failed at being me. And I had this giant weight that I was like scared to jump in with 2 feet into anything, especially something that could potentially disappoint a loved one, because me
Mm.
not getting a scholarship disappointed my father.
Mm.
And so I had this really kind of profound awakening around that for myself. And I had a really good friend who helped me work through it. And him and his wife were there present also on the journey, and they were like really nurturing, and like it
Mm.
was just beautiful for me to experience that level of like couple energy. And like as
Yeah.
working through this and
What a
like
perfect, isn't it? It's so I've been working with plant medicine too and a therapist. So I really, and it is like this, the world starts to be, it's like maybe our eyes just open to the magic that's all around us. But the very fact that a couple were there to support you in that process
like
is
I felt
just,
like the wife was like holding my hand, and she was like a mother. And like I had these like my body was shaking because I was having these, and apparently that's like a sign that that's your body releasing trauma.
releasing. Hmm.
And like so I was shaking really hard, and she was like holding me, and it was like very motherly. And then like her husband, which is a really good friend of mine, um and he was like pushing me, like encouraging me to go deeper, and like really kind of probing, and like, what does this make you feel, what are the stories like. And like it was just this fucking beautiful, like, I don't know, I felt that, and I released it. And the next day for the first time, and then right after that there was an energy worker there. And so like she like did like a bunch of like just, I don't know if it's like root chakra work, but she was like moving, like I've never done that shit before either. And I was like, I've always been a skeptic. And so like I'm sitting here and I'm just on this beautiful plant, and just she's like moving things around. And then the next day I woke up and I just had no chatter. Like
Mm.
first time in a long time. I felt so wealthy, so rich,
Mm.
so
Well, think about it. Think about that. Like that makes a lot of sense because commitment, um, well, what's that? What's the thing that opened up with commitment and wealth?
um so
There's
that's
something that makes sense.
yeah, it made me like for the first time in a while I felt money flowing. I felt the money flowing into my bank account. I felt the like it was like so like felt it just all flowing in. Like I felt the bank account like filling up like abundantly. And that was like the I've never felt that before. I felt like
This makes a lot of
so
sense.
I felt so safe. I felt, and then I felt the same thing with my relationships. I felt like it can't get, like, I was just like, oh my gosh, like my relationship tank is so full. Like when the fear of commitment went away and I made the commitment that this is the woman in my life, like I made that commitment. I was like, I'm going to marry this woman. I just don't know when. And like, I just fully committed
Mm.
to loving her as her. I wasn't committing to anything more. I don't need her to change. I just want to commit to loving her because that's something I think I can do.
Yeah.
And I had this like just, and with that, like the fear of like experiencing like true relationships, like the upper limit went away, and I just felt so full. Um and for the first time and that was like the third day I've ever done plant medicine. So like day 4, which was like the 2-day ceremony, the second day, we were setting intentions, and I was just like, you know what? For the first time in a long time, I feel whole. Like I don't have anything to work through. Like I just want to feel this, and I just want to be in this, and I want to cement it, and I just want to be there. And it was just gorgeous and beautiful, and I felt it. And I've been feeling the ease of work this week. Like I've been feeling the play and all of it.
Mm.
And even though, like, I think I told you I'm making some really big growth based investments. Like,
Mm-hmm.
funny, the guy who guided me through it, he's the king of passive investments. And
What's
I've
that? What do you mean by that?
so like he's built all of his wealth with passive investments and private deals. And he's like, now I just got off a call with him, and he's like, dude, I'm just going to help you figure this out. Like, I'm
Mm.
going to bring you into all my deals. I'm going to like, and I'm just like, it's like so easy. Like, and I think that's that wealthiness that I felt. It's like the ease of like, like
Yep.
there's no stories in my mind, no chatter in my mind that's making this hard. And
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
not afraid to receive help. And
Did
like,
you did you read The Surrender Experiment?
yeah, that
Okay.
book changed my life.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
don't you feel a little bit in like you can now be in your own surrender experiment when you get yourself out of the way? And there's a really important distinction with that book. You can't just give your whole heart willingly to whatever's in front of you when you're constrained by survival patterns. Then you're going to take on too much and create like stress and overwhelm. you It worked for him because he was doing the meditation is sort of what we get in the plant and all in the coaching and the plant medicine. It's getting us unconstrained. And you can feel how from this place, oh yeah, it would really work to just give my whole heart willingly to whatever's in front of me. Stop trying to force things to happen, but just show up authentically. You can feel it, right?
I feel it, just like it just feels so me. And I was just telling him, I was like, I have so many big growth based projects, like stuff that like isn't turning cash flow right now. So it's like sucking cash from me that will make me money in 1 to 3 years. And I'm waiting for a big paycheck. And we were just going through like his own process for like, because he's like, just he found out that's his superpower. That's like one of the things like we're helping with, like, like I know my gifts, and I know what I'm put on this earth to experience and do, and like how to do it. Like I have that so clear, but I don't have the safety. And he
Mm-hmm.
has the safety piece, but he's like playing in that new energy. And so like we're so perfect for each other right now
Oh,
that like
so cool.
like it's like I'm helping him figure out like his gifts are really like teaching people how, like teaching entrepreneurs like myself how
Yeah.
to build that nest egg with private deals and real estate deals, and like just borrow money from friends and family. And like he's like teaching me how to do that. And like it's like, so my heart's full, and he was just showing me all that. And um I don't know, I just feel for the first time I'm not stressed.
Mm.
um and I'm receiving, and I
Mm.
want it to be easy. I don't want it
Yeah.
to be hard. I want, like, I think I've earned that. I've
You
I've
don't have to earn that.
That's the thing. And that's, what, I had a big story
Mhm.
uh 2 days ago where, it's a practice. I think my meditation and my surrender is really like not like just loving people for who they are. Like that's my comeback to my center, right? Like whenever I try to make someone become something in order for me to love them, that's like my notice to like, all right, drop back down to earth.
Mm.
Because I
Mm.
noticed I was doing that with my girlfriend. Like, I had this story where I was like, I want you to do plant medicine with me. And then I was trying to convince her, and she's like, babe, I don't want to do that right now. Like, I'm really good. I love you for doing it, but I don't want to do that right now. And I was like, why? I was probing. And that moment I just realized, I was like, Raj, you're not loving her for her. You are putting conditions on love. And this is the thing. Like, I realized, I was like, how many conditions on love do I put on myself? Like how many times have I told myself, like, in order for me to be enough, I have to be successful. In order for me to be enough, I have to help these people. In order for me to be enough, I have
Mhm.
to be this impact driven entrepreneur. How many stories, like, if you're going to love others for who they are, then you have to love yourself just as you are.
Yeah.
Even if you're not successful, if you don't have shit, just you are enough.
That's the freedom. That's the freedom.
I started crying yesterday morning because I was just like, oh my gosh, that's like a whole new level of love for myself that I just have never experienced. And I get to experience that now. And that gets to be my spiritual practice of really dropping back into that,
Yeah.
loving myself
Totally.
as I am here,
Totally.
and allowing myself to receive the love as I am. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be successful to make money.
Yep.
I don't have to be a person of worth to be involved in deals. I can just be myself and allow people to bring me into their
Yep.
abundant worlds and receive that. And
Yeah.
like, I
That's
just
so,
felt,
so cool. You can get this now too. This is like, not something really popular for me to say, as I've been revamping the whole soul purpose program, as all the new stuff that I've been going through. It's like, really getting more about what soul purpose can really be. And, the irony is soul purpose could give a shit about economic independence.
yeah, they're
They
not.
even like, it's like,
You know what? Like, and I think that's the thing I realized. Like, I had these stories attached around, like, worthy people make money, when that's not true.
yeah,
Shitheads make money.
some of the biggest
Assholes in this
yeah,
world
make money.
make
And
money, and like, so money is just, it's independent of
yeah,
who
it's just
you
an
are.
energy. It's just an energy, like physical energy. You can have a lot of it or a little of it. It doesn't make you an asshole or not an asshole, whether you have this energy. It's just an energy.
Yeah,
But if you're not an asshole and you have a lot of this energy, you can do a lot of really cool things in the world with it. And like, look at Michael Singer, like, look at when he got himself out of worry, look at how like the abundance just came, but he could care less about economic independence. And it really, like, as I'm building my businesses now more often, like um, I've, I can see that there's still more work to get myself out of the way. It's a lifetime's work. I get it, but I can feel as I'm building this soul purpose coaching, training, and mentor program, and I'm developing this Wealthy Women Now. It's the way to build it is, think of Michael Singer. He didn't build it by having it be his thing. He just kept kind of like letting people be a part of it, and it just got to be really big. And I can feel that hesitation. Ooh, it's got to be my thing. No, it doesn't. Let it.
No, and I think that's, I'm just like, this call with Aaron Kenner, that's his name. Really just, he's in Salt Lake too, actually, by the way. He's
Oh,
awesome.
really?
And yeah,
Huh.
really, really, really nice guy. And just, I was just like, fuck, like, dude, this person just loves me and just wants to help me. And I asked him, I was like, how do you find these private deals, man? Like, I've never found them. He's like, well, people like me who know people with private deals.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and he's like, and he doesn't borrow money to get into these deals. He asks for other people's money, his friends' money. And I was like, wait, you're telling me that I could just ask you for money and you would bring me into these deals so that I can make money? Is that what you're fucking telling me right now? Like the abundance of that and the safety of that, and just I've not allowed myself to feel this secure,
Yeah.
and safe in the arms of something I can't see
Yeah.
in so long.
Yeah.
And I still challenge it, and I still find myself going back into this need-based, like, right, you have to be this guy that does this. But now that I know that's my spiritual journey, like, I feel like I know what I'm here to experience. I know my calling, this inner voice calling. I know the spiritual calling.
So will you speak to it? What is your calling
So my spiritual
from this
calling
place?
is to just commit to loving myself fully, in this moment, and whatever comes from that, whatever journey comes from that, receiving that with a full heart. And I think I realized that, like, the more I receive, the more I have to give. And like, I think that's my calling, is to just receive as much love as I can in this lifetime. And just like,
So there's something I want to circle back to before I forget, because there's something that is really interesting to me, and I'm wondering if there's something to see here about commitment and abundance. If you think about it, like if you have commitment issues, secretly sabotaging some level of abundance would make sense if you have commitment issues, right? Because abundance is more energy that you got to get a little bit committed with. There's just more to do. And so that it just, there's something about that. So look and see what's there for you. What is that relationship? What do you see in your experience of being, how it would make sense that if you have these commitment issues, how you, it would
I
make
don't
sense.
have commitment issues anymore.
No, I know. But when you did, because you cleared your commitment issues and now the abundance is opening up. So
The thing I realized is, I think this is the one thing I realized, I don't need a story anymore. Like, I can use stories that are useful when I need to use them. Like, I do have a story around me being a modern day superhero that's building businesses that save the world. Like, that to me is a beautiful story that I
love
choose.
that. I love that. Building businesses that save the world. I love that.
I choose to believe that story. But other than that, I think the only thing I choose, I think that's the one thing that came back to me was, where am I not living in choice? Like, where am I letting stories run on autopilot? And where, like, that's the guiding light for me. And I think the only choice I choose to believe and make is that I am committed to fully experiencing love, like, and receiving abundance.
Yeah.
And sharing abundance and being involved in abundance, like whatever that is. That could mean giving abundance, that could mean receiving abundance, but you can't give without receiving, and vice versa. So I think I'm just committed to experiencing the abundance of love in my heart, in my life. And that's through my relationships, through my friendships, through my work, through my creations, through my art, um, through the exploration of the many emotional states that I experience, whether it's fear or joy or sadness, and leaning into love with that. I think like that's the only journey.
Yeah.
Everything else is a choice, is a chosen story that I can use to activate some
Yeah.
journey in my life. And
yeah. So I'm curious with this, because, and I love, this is super fun getting to coach you, and you're doing the plant medicine, because I get it.
It feels so like I feel so grounded in me. I'm just really, and it's funny, like, I think a few calls ago, we talked about like my definitions of love. And like, what if my definition of love is loving many people? And one of the big takeaways that I had with one of the takeaways that someone else had. So we did this plant medicine experience in a big group, and in the big group, they were all kind of sharing lessons. And one of the girls, she was sharing a lesson around intimacy, and she shared this thing. It was like, intimacy is something you can share freely with everybody, but sexual energy is something you can hold sacred if you choose.
Yeah.
And it was something that it kind of struck to me. Like, I would think I was playing it, like, I'm monogamous. I'm not in a polygamous relationship, but I've always toyed with the idea of polygamy. Like, what would that look like? And what I realized is that I can be intimate with as many people as I want. I can love people with a full heart, but I can choose sex and sexuality with one person. And that to me sounds like, I think I was being but one of the biggest things, I was being so guarded with my intimacy. Like, I was like, I can only be intimate with one person, when I think intimacy is like, that's just our birthright. Like, snuggling.
This is intimate.
This is intimate, right? Me having this conversation with you and opening up in this way with you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, with another woman, like, who knows me probably better than I know myself in some ways. Like, better than my girlfriend knows me in some ways. Like, like, that to me is just a beautiful, open experience that I'm now allowing myself to experience. And I'm opening that up with my girlfriend, and I'm like, babe, like, these people, they just know me. And like, I love Catherine, and I love Demi, and I love Georgina, and I love these people, and they hold space for me. And by that definition, I love you. Right? Like,
and it when you are intimate with other people, and you get to go deeper and see more of yourself and love yourself more, you get to, that's what it's been for my husband. And he doesn't like to get into as deep of conversations. I love that I get to do with this with my clients. He doesn't go as deep with me, but because I go so deep and I'm going deeper and deeper with my clients and deeper with my coach, I insist on going even more deeper with him. I said to him, I was trying to pick at his purpose, and he was getting frustrated the other day. And I said, babe, I know many of my clients more than I know you. I really want to know you. And it's because I go so deep with other people that I could go to him like that and he could get it. And as a result, we went deeper.
Yeah. I think when I took the bars off of what love was like, and I allowed myself to experience true love.
Yeah.
I think that was it. I haven't been receiving because of stories. Like
You haven't been receiving what stories?
Monkey mind stories, fear, whatever, have been stopping me from just receiving.
Yeah. And what's really interesting too is when we have this story that our definition of love is wrong, if it's wrong, like I have the inclination to love more people, but it's wrong, then we won't let ourselves look at it or be with it. We guard ourselves from it. And it was by giving yourself permission to look at it, even as perceived wrong, that it could move and expand toward truth.
Yes. Truth is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I'm feeling so much love.
When did you do this last session?
Thursday.
Last Thursday. So does it have waves? Do you have like waves of
10 days? I think it's usually about 2 weeks for me. 2 weeks afterwards, I'm getting all these massive downloads and realizations. And we're in like a little support group too. Like we have like a Marco Polo like video chat group with like 30 people. So like
cool.
Anytime we have like some people are going through really shitty times right now, like crying a lot and really depressive waves, and some people are going through like massive highs and realizations, but we're all kind of like sharing them together. And so that's been really helpful. I'm grateful I have a really good crew that I'm doing this with. Like, it's like a really good like family. And I think there's something to be said about doing plant medicines with people. Like,
I love that idea. I'm doing it solo and I love that idea. I'd love to be connected with those people if you.
I'll let you know. I think maybe one of the next few times we have these plant medicine ceremonies, I'll rope you in if you're interested.
Yeah. I would love it.
They're really powerful. And they're just really, really heart-centered, really.
I so get it. And I love the combination of the plant medicine and coaching. I've been doing some deeper work with my coach, but there's something about the plant medicine work that gears it up, and then I'm able to have a deeper breakthrough with my coach. And then I also get it out of my body with the plant medicine. And I woke up earlier this week and said, I'm going to get my pilot's license. I've always secretly wanted that, but didn't. I had a survival pattern of going for 10 things at once to mitigate the heartbreak if it doesn't work out and mitigate my control issue. That's what came out in the coaching and the plant medicine work that really, so I was that which is undistinguished runs you, distinguishing it, I'm free of it. Oh my gosh. Now, because that would make me phonetic and forget things. And I always thought getting my pilot's, airplanes and motorcycles, dangerous, don't do that. But being free of the survival pattern that caused that, I've always wanted that. I was a flight attendant. It's as close as I could get. I've always wanted my pilot license. So I woke up, oh my gosh, can do this now. That just came from accessing more authenticity by clearing those patterns.
Yeah. I've worked through so many, it's funny, like I realized ever since I did my first plant medicine thing, I've worked through so much of my own shit faster. Like, it's like when you feel the story as opposed to knowing it, like, the culprits, your monkey mind, what it is, how it shows up, what the fucking word is, you described it. But then there's like this thing about feeling it. that makes you
Totally.
understand it in a
Yep.
way that like
Yep.
it's like so intuitive. You're
Yep.
like, oh, I know where this is coming from. I know what
Yep.
pain this is coming
Yep.
from, and I know what trauma I need to release in order for this to be free.
Yes.
And
Yep. Yep.
it's for me, it was like I'd done the work,
Yep.
right? Like this was the pre-work that we needed to do. And then plant
Mhm.
medicine was like the 5%, like that just took my brain, the
Yep.
subconscious and the conscious and the heart, and just connected it all.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, now it became this super computer that
Yep.
that knew
Totally.
exactly how, like, it was all speaking the same language.
Yep. I so get it. I
And
totally get it.
alignment and
Yeah. It's such a, yeah, there is something about, like that was it for me too, because your body doesn't lie and it stores the things. And when it's like for me, it was talking to my body, letting my body talk. And then there's something with saying it out loud to another person too, that is part of that clearing and part of that releasing, and the body shaking and the body heating up and releasing it. And I mean, it's like nothing I've ever experienced. It is yeah, and it's new for me. I just started doing it, but Garrett did it, and Garrett is a different person. If you were to, when you see Garrett next time you talk to Garrett, he's a different human being.
it is legitimately like, for the right people, it's like it's a cheat code. For the right people. The wrong people, it could be a spiral and an escape and a place to just go and bury.
Yeah.
But for the right people who know that missing link and that piece,
Yep.
It's like,
yep. Well, then, I mean, it's you've done your work. Garrett's done a lot of work. Like we're in the inquiry of it. This is, my intention for doing it was accessing. I'm on a journey. How authentic can I get? I know I get authentic by getting real about my inauthenticities. So for me, it's a tool to see more inauthenticities and clear it. And I mean, the very fact that I actually am having conversations with getting my with pilots to make that happen. I've always felt the want for it, but oh my gosh, you'll die. It's so dangerous for you. You can never do it. And that just almost night and day difference. Like, that's available to me now. And, and we're all walking around in our human condition more constrained than we realize. And so I think I think that, how we get unconstrained, it's not just one thing. It's a lot of different, meditation, conversations with friends, having a life experience that changes the way you see the world, having a coaching conversation, doing plant medicine. Like, it's all here for us in this journey. There's so many tools out there for us. When you set the intention, like you have, like, I want to see who am I? And you're committed to that path, the right medicine finds you, I believe. The right conversation, the right experience, the right.
Gosh, my heart's so full. Oh.
Well, how can I serve you today, my friend?
You know what? This conversation has actually served me more than anything. I mean, I think I feel really good. Like, I feel just, I don't feel stuck. I sent you a few of the responses that I got back from individuals who saw me, and that was actually really heartwarming that people saw me like that, because I wasn't seeing myself like that. And so if you have any clarity around that, and my values, and
well, I'll work on those. Did you get them all back, or are we waiting on?
I'm waiting on a few. On a few.
Okay.
And so
when I get them all, Raj, what I do is I put every single word that everybody says, even if it's duplicate, on a little sticky pad, on a sticky note. And then I put them all over my wall, and I look at them and I organize them. And also, I'm seeing you. I'm connected to your essence. And what I'm looking to do is summarize them into 5 or 6 words that can most comprehensively describe your essence.
Yes, I love that. I literally almost started tearing up when I heard some of the words people were like lights up a room. Like, I just felt like this, like, makes people feel seen. Like, it's like, fuck, that's me. I get to be me.
Isn't that cool to be seen like this? It's so cool.
So cool. Like, I was just like that, like, Oh, it sent like shivers up my spine just reading those because it made me feel so. And I think that was probably a story somewhere in there, but it made me feel so worthy of being me. Like, like being me was such a gift for people,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it felt so beautiful. I was like, fuck, like this is
Right
what
on.
being me gets to do for others.
So cool.
And that's like, there's nothing more like just grounding and than that. It's like,
Yeah.
like, I mean,
Totally.
I don't know, it was just, that was really delicious just being able to read that and feel that it
Yeah.
existed. And
Right
so
on.
no, as far as like specifics go, I don't need anything right now. I'm just
Cool.
grateful that you're holding the space and you're kind of guiding. And um, I don't think I would be where I am right now. I definitely wouldn't be where I am without our work. So it's
Mm.
beautiful that, just it's beautiful how you've really kind of helped me hone in intuition. That's really like, I think more than a soul, like soul purpose could be another word for like, you're an intuition trainer. Like you really like you've helped me hear the voice,
Yeah.
the true voice. And I think that
Yeah.
that's a gift that now has allowed me to really tap into being my own hero and being my own,
Mm.
like knowing intuitively what I need and who I need it from, and
So
knowing
cool.
intuitively how to heal myself. Like that's really what
Mm.
you've done. So yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I
thank
don't
you.
know if I don't know if each call needs to be like a let's
It
tackle
doesn't.
this.
Yeah. And when I work with, like one-on-one clients that we talk more like weekly, it's some of them. And I say, don't look at the coaching like time-based because it's insight-based.
Yeah.
Some conversations are going to be 15 minutes. Some are going to be 2 hours. It's really looking at where do we need to be in today. And sometimes it's just being witnessed. Sometimes we'll do a call that is just about celebrating. That's really important too, because as successful entrepreneurs, we don't take the time to do that. And we've done that before. So it's really that not everyone is looking at a struggle and breaking through. It's, what's the insight for today? What's the place to get to? What's the conversation that will help things expand or be, more clearing? So yeah, totally.
All right.
Can I
Well,
can I ask you for a favor?
of course.
That was a beautiful, that was a great testimonial. It's
Yeah.
would you be willing to write? I'm working on, one of my
You want me
authentic
to
things that I
write
really,
one? Do you want me to write one or shoot a video?
oh, video would be awesome. Cause
I'll
yeah,
shoot you
not
guys a
many
video.
people, that are sending me testimonials are comfortable doing the video. So I don't
I'll do
get
the
that
video.
many of those. That would be so great.
I'll do the
Yeah.
video.
I'm really working on building my practice outside of Well Factory and developing two things, like my one-on-one practice and then the Soul Purpose program, developing that even beyond Well Factory. So that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a video. That's
Cool.
totally easy. It's actually way easier for me than typing something up for you.
Me too. Me too. I prefer to
I
do that today too.
just feels
But
way
not for
more.
most people, it's not. So I appreciate it.
Well, I've realized one of my superpowers is actually being really comfortable on camera. Like I actually really shine in the spotlight. Like
You
if you
do.
throw me in, like I can dance beautifully.
Yep.
Um, and I don't feel the pressure. I don't feel, it feels very natural for me. Like it's kind of crazy. Like our video costs are so low for the amount of videos we do, just because like
You don't have
I'm
to reshoot.
I'm a one take wonder. So you put something on me and legitimately like I just speak without saying a single
Oh.
for I don't know.
Yeah, you do. You actually come alive.
Yeah, it's like
You.
I just get the source and
Yep.
then I'm
Yep.
just a conduit for whatever's coming through me. I start somewhere and I finish somewhere completely different, and that's
Mm-hmm.
completely
Mm-hmm.
fine because
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly what people expect from me.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so
Yeah.
yeah, it's been nice. So
Cool. Well, I will love a Raj testimony, but that would be just
yeah,
like, that'd be so stellar for my new website that's coming soon. So
who's building your website? Do you have a person locally?
I don't yet because I'm still redefining. I mean, I have my Wealthy Women Now website, but that's going to become a separate thing. I'm giving that away to the women of the world. Like my goal is actually, it's funny. I brought on a partner for that. And it's funny, when she said this, I thought of you because the vision of it is sort of becoming like a sorority, not like a sorority, so I'm like, oh, I know somebody who started a sorority, but being not like a sorority, but in that I don't want it to be owned by me. I don't want people to, like a sorority, or it's not known that it's owned by one. It's just this thing that's a women's group that's for the women. So I don't want it to be a Demi McConkey thing. I want it to be, here is an organization for women of the world run by women of the world. So that'll be kind of its own thing, which frees me up to do more of some of the work that I really want to do, developing a one-on-one practice, getting this miracle paradox out in the world. So I'll be doing a website for that, but that isn't completely defined what that's going to be yet. So I'm not sure what that is yet. As it gets
needs more
developed.
Demi.
What's that?
The world needs more Demi.
Oh, well.
The world needs more Demi.
I don't know.
I think entrepreneurs would be a lot happier if they had a Demi.
Oh,
I've told that to so many people. I'm like, you guys all are just fucking flopping around like little fishies because you don't have a Demi. You need somebody to just like put guardrails on your mind and give you a safe place to play in your heart. And
I can't wait to get this video testimonial, Raj. So I'm just going to play this every day before I start my day. It's going to be like, yes.
I need a Demi. Oh, that's so good. Okay. All right. Well, let me run. I got to do some, I'm flying out tonight, so I got to do some packing, but thank you again for giving space today.
Yeah.
I'll see you soon, and I'll definitely keep you posted on the next. I think it'd be really fun to journey with you, actually.
It would be cool. Yeah.
I would enjoy journeying with you. So I'll keep you posted on some of the next ones I think that are coming up, and we'll take it from there. Okay.
Right on, my friend.
All right.
Lots of love.
Thank you, Demi.
Okay.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.